Hey, it is Tuesday, which means it's time for another in real life video. This time, we've got the mic kind of situated here to the side. I don't know if this is going to be ideal or not. We're experimenting here a little bit. Good lord, as I pull on the mic, the boom arm in this direction, it kind of shakes my whole monitor. So sorry, as it's teetered a little bit. It should stabilize soon enough. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so this time we have, for this week, a general viewers submitted question, a query about pretty much anything it can be. As always, if you also have a question that you want answered in real life video, feel free to leave a comment about it, especially if you include a question mark. That helps me easily do like a Control F search situation, or even if you type in question, I don't know. I think question mark should be good enough, right? Just make sure you have a question mark for punctuation in there somewhere, at least one of them. Anyway, this one comes from, let's see here, sorry, I'm going to get some glare on my glasses here. Let's see. This one from, let's see. Oh, all right, yeah, of course. The general viewer's username that asked this question should be on screen right about now. And they asked, could I talk more about the special openings that I've done, sort of like making Glarthir a murderer. If you've seen the Oblivion playthrough, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I figured this would be an opportune time to answer this one, being as we just wrapped up our final Morrowind annual. The 7th or 8th one, I think. Yeah, the 7th one, which was kind of a special opening for Morrowind Mondays. Morrowind Mondays, no stranger to special openings. But yeah, sometimes I just sneak them in there. Sometimes I just do a weird little something or the other for an opening if the inspiration really strikes me. And that's really where it comes from. If something going on in the game or in real life, I connect the dots in some way and I just feel extra motivated to do that. And I have the time, of course. It's incredibly time sensitive. So I find as I sort of stack up the schedule more and more, right now we have, we've almost got it to where it's a regular occurrence where there is now a daily video, right? Every time, every day at midnight, my time zone, there is a video that comes out for, initially it was Elden Ring, and then it became Starfield for a bit, and now it is currently Dragon's Dogma 1, and in the future, the nearby future, it will be Dragon's Dogma 2. I think we also did that for maybe Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we did it in that case. Oh, and also Fable 1. Yeah, we've done it a whole lot. Yeah, it's starting to become kind of a staple for the channel, and it sort of is a good way to get in on something quick as things come out, very useful to sort of get in there while the zeitgeist, as it were, is still hot. But yeah, I find that I have less and less time to dedicate to them, unfortunately, because, like I said, just doing the extra daily video does kind of take up like a fair amount of time in those bonus openings. Like, I do remember the Making Glarthir a Murderer opening kind of taking a fair bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what this is specifically in reference to, Making Glarthir a Murderer, I think I've got an old version of it that's like standalone. I guess I can publish that and make it not go to subscription feeds, and I'll put that in the description if you want to see that, if you haven't seen the Oblivion playthrough and you have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's basically Glarthir, a character from Oblivion, is potentially losing it, and you can kind of egg them on to doing some wild murders. But beforehand, he kind of thinks that the world is out to get him, as it were. Which honestly sounds like a quest prompt that has aged remarkably well. Yeah, he kind of goes buck wild. Oblivion, heck of a game. But that was mostly made in part due to me at the time still having, I don't know if it was around the same time it first came out and I watched it, but there was the Netflix docu-series Making a Murderer, and I had watched that, and the whole opening was meant to be just like parroting and spoofing sort of the opening trailer or whatever for that series, the trailer that came out beforehand. I even did like a thumbnail. I guess you'll see it now, the thumbnail, for the standalone version or whatever that nobody ever actually saw. I think maybe I linked it somewhere, but nonetheless, I made it just for fun, just because I was in the mood, and I made it 100% in the style of that original docuseries thumbnail for their sort of, I don't know what you would call it on Netflix. They're like their poster, as it were. I guess their thumbnail. But I did that. There were a few others. There was an April 1st Morrowind Mondays, wherein, spoilers, I guess, if you're watching through it. I think it's the newer, did I do it in Tamriel Rebuilt? No, I think I did it in the original Volume 1 of Morrowind Mondays. But there's one where it just so happens we're in a certain place in Morrowind, and then because it's April 1st, the April 1st version of it on that Monday, I open the video through like a load screen or whatever, and we're in Elder Scrolls Online in the exact same spot, because they of course have all of Morrowind in there, in like a certain degree, aged and whatever. And then I sort of like make a lot of cheeky acknowledgments of what we're doing. And some folks even, I remember writing in, that some folks wrote in, some general viewers wrote in saying that they thought that this was like a weird mod or something. But yeah, it was Elder Scrolls Online. And then when we hit a load screen in Elder Scrolls Online to go somewhere, I think we took a Silt Strider, and then I just cut back to Morrowind. And of course, that took quite a while as well. There was one in New Vegas, the New Vegas playthrough, where I think I lost Rose of Sharon Cassidy as a follower, and this wasn't an opening, this was just smack dab in the middle of it, which is pretty wild, considering very few people I think will see it or ever even know about it. But just smack dab in the middle, we lost her as a follower. I was like, my God, how do I stop this? And I kept trying to get my good karma up, because we had done so much stealing in the game that our character's karma got so low that when I was trying to do her companion quest or whatever, she just kept leaving the party. So I had to go on like a killing montage for like hours in real life, just killing fiends, just wiping out the fiends nonstop over and over again, just doing like kill runs to get our karma up high enough in order to continue on doing like her quest or whatever. That way she wouldn't just immediately leave the party as soon as I talked to her, just disgusted at my actions, when really my only bad action up to then was I just stole a lot of stuff. Maybe I murdered someone along the way, but for the most part, just a lot of stealing. There were quite a few of these. There's probably some that I'm even forgetting, right? I would imagine. But every so often, if inspiration strikes me and I have the time, I just kind of do it. I don't know. I can't explain it that well. If it just so happens that something is lined up in such a way, and like I said, honestly, it's a pretty bad way to spend my time, because as I said, it's something that very few people are going to actually see. I'm sure a lot of folks watching this, at least one, if not all of the ones I've mentioned, examples, folks will have no idea what I'm talking about, right? I'm sure that this may come as a surprise to folks watching this very video, even folks who have been around following the channel for quite some time, even when those videos were originally going up as they came out. I could see that being the case. But yeah, it's just circumstance, just coincidence that things line up. I'm inspired to do it. Something in the game reminds me of whatever in real life, and I have the time for it. And like I said, I seemingly have less and less time, and maybe that's for the best, because I would imagine that folks would rather I, have the daily sort of videos rather than, I suppose, additional time where I can just sort of throw together a weird little something or other. But who can say? I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll still do that anyway, right? If the inspiration really strikes me. So I'm not sure. like I said, it's really not a great way for me to be spending my time as far as making a video or anything contributed to a video is concerned. It's a pretty, I don't recommend it. It's a pretty bad way to spend the time. Like I said, that ought to do it, I think. We haven't had, we haven't answered viewer submitted questions in a bit, because of a whole bunch of stuff going on. And we've had more poignant, Talkie Tuesdays, as it were. But I'm thinking maybe we'll do a string of like 2 or 3 here, including this one. So, hey, if you have, like I said at the beginning of this, if you have a question or whatever that you want up for consideration, like I said, some I may not be able to answer if they're like too personal, or they ask something that I can't reveal because it would break terms of service on YouTube or whatever. Stuff like that obviously will go ignored, and I don't know, no shame to you or whatever, you don't really know, but just know that if it does seemingly get ignored, well, first and foremost, it's probably because there's been a lot of questions and we still have a decent backlog of them. That's probably why. Or someone has already previously asked it, or it's been covered in a prior video or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, those are ones that we're kind of staying away from. But yeah, if you have anything, feel free to send it in. Like I said, I've got an ever-growing and ever-working list of viewer-submitted topics as well as my own that I want to cover. So feel free to do it. Feel free to hit them up. We may also do a little bonus in real life video here soon for the Xbox Direct. I almost forgot again. I'm getting better about it these days because of, I almost forgot that I should probably cover the Xbox Direct. I don't normally look at, or at least I used to not, get really tuned into like, oh, the Sony State of Play or the Xbox Developer Direct or whatever. I used to not really get into those because I've mostly been a PC player and whatnot. And sort of I figured, oh, eventually those will come to PC and whatnot, and I'll learn of it through just like my usual video games podcast. I don't need to be there for the actual reveal event and whatnot. But, well, they bought up a whole bunch of places that I do care about, right? A bunch of developers. So, yeah, probably going to be, it sounds like, Avowed and Indiana Jones game, which I'm both very interested in, among other things. I'll probably not watch it live, and then we'll do like a little pre-recorded video or whatever where I watch it there. You know, sort of like how we had done in the past. And we'll just sneak that in throughout the week if I have time, right? If I don't have time, then we won't do it. But I think I ought to have time. Anyway, that ought to do it. Thanks for watching. Please take care of each other.